Welcome to the Chatline podcast. I'm Emily,
I'm Missy.
and we're the in-law duo you didn't know you needed. So, we're going to get into today's episode. We're going to get right into it. So, Love on the Spectrum.
Yes.
Is it a new season that's out?
It is season 3 on Netflix, and I binged all of it.
How can you not? That show's so sweet.
It's very sweet. So, Dark Confessions. I love it. Let me preface.
Yeah?
I love the show. But I do have to fast forward at times through certain just social awkwardness, let's say, that I just can't
Yeah.
handle it. I'm just like, oh, don't say that or don't do that. My nerves can't take it, right?
Yeah.
And so bless the parents, bless,
Yes.
the producers and cameramen that I'm sure just want to run in there and go, no. Or yes, this is great. You're doing great, on the other side of it. So do you remember Connor from last season? He had really dark hair.
Okay, no, he's not who I was thinking. I was thinking of the redheaded boy, but I get the UK and the US ones confused too. Yeah.
UK has a really good version.
Yeah.
Sorry if you just heard the loudest truck on the planet go by. I was like, okay, Mark, be quiet. And he revved the engine, I think. But anyway, we should not be getting that again. But now I don't remember the redheaded boy. Daggone, now I'm going to have to look up who that is. But Connor, anyway, he ended up, spoiler, if you've not watched all of season 3, which if you've been on TikTok at all, then you've gotten all the spoilers.
Yeah.
But Connor finally found his princess, Georgette, no, my word. Georgina, no.
Georgiana?
Georgie. Sorry.
Georgie.
It's just Georgie. I was like trying to make it fancier than it is. The sweetest story.
Aw.
Like he was, if you TikTok, Instagram reel, whatever, anyone who is listening to this, if you've not seen it, just type in Georgie and Connor's first kiss. It is the sweetest thing on the planet. There are like TikToks that are like, if your man does not act like this when you kiss, then you don't need to be with him. I ran downstairs because Mark was in the den and I was like, Connor literally just said, my knees are so weak and my legs, I can't feel my legs. Like it was the sweetest thing on the planet. But she could tell, like, this is why I loved them so much, though. She could tell he was freaking out. And she, even though she's on the spectrum as well, was like, she would touch him in a way of where it, like, clicked him back to, like, okay, I'm here with you in this moment.
Aw.
And she was like, just breathe. It's okay. Like, she's the sweetest soul. Like, just
I
the
love that.
sweetest soul. Yeah.
That's so sweet.
It is. If you just want really great, sweet love stories, it is so
Yeah.
sweet. But again, do you remember a few podcasts ago me telling you that the FBI, it was TV-14, but it said nudity?
Yes.
Or something. No, I think that was anyway, I was watching something that said nudity, but I never saw nudity.
Yeah.
That on this?
Why?
This again, maybe it was something I fast forward through, but I saw no nudity, like even like in a poster,
Weird.
like behind someone, I didn't see anything.
That's weird. Because I feel like ratings are more like lenient now than like they used to be. Why would they? That's weird. I wonder if there's like some edit, like if the UK has a version that's the US version, you know what I mean? That their edit is different than ours. I don't know.
I don't know either. Now,
That's
somebody
weird.
comment and tell me, I'm not going to go and look at the nudity, but someone tell me if I'm completely wrong, because maybe it was on, episode 3 and I just missed it. I don't know.
I think you would remember.
I would remember if I've seen it, if I actually
Yeah.
saw it, but maybe I was looking down at my game. Or I don't know. Okay, so then Connor and Georgie. Do you remember Tanner from last time? I think if you saw him, there's also a viral.
I know their faces.
Yes, there's also a viral clip of him on the Kelly Clarkson show of where he met Jack Black.
Oh, yes. I know who that is. Yes.
May I just have a shout out to Jack Black here? Because I think Tanner, like he knew Tanner was going to be excited, I don't
Yes.
think he knew how exuberant Tanner was going
No.
to be and how in his literal face he was going to be. I thought at one point Tanner was going to kiss him right on the mouth. Like, I
He might
really
have.
did. I was like, I don't know where this is going to end. But Jack Black was so, in my opinion, was just so kind and,
Yes.
great in that moment.
Yeah.
But Tanner has a girlfriend too. They found him somebody, and her
Was
name
she
is
on the show?
Callie. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And it was this I love her. Like, I was going to be so mad at Tanner, like, if he did not like Callie. Really was. I was like, I love you, Tanner. You're probably my favorite dude on here. But
But
if you don't like Callie, I don't know what we're going to do about that one. I was like, he has some different expectations. I don't know.
yeah.
But Callie was seriously one of the sweetest souls. Like, and she reminded me, like, her voice and her accent reminded me of somebody. And I was like, because she says, I live with my mother and my grandmother, and her grandmother had been through a really rough year. And so she was just like, just so glad to be here and,
Yeah.
have this experience and, get her mind off of all of the ick from her
Yeah.
life. And, but anyway, did you ever watch Duck Dynasty at all?
Yes, yes. I
Her
love Duck
voice
Dynasty.
reminds me of Miss K.
I love Miss K.
Yeah.
I need to rewatch that. They're making a remake of it, of Duck
Yes.
Dynasty? Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet it's gonna be really good.
I don't know, it could go either way, couldn't it?
You don't think? I think it could be good. I used to, as a kid, I had like the biggest crush, sorry, Wesley, on John Luke. I was in love with John Luke.
Funny.
Yeah.
I can see that. He's a cutie. And
Yeah.
he's rich, right? So
Yeah.
you're like,
So,
yeah.
you know
No,
how
I
we feel
mean,
about that.
Sadie has such a huge following. I can't
Yes.
imagine that it's not going to be a hit.
Right.
But I tell you what, Uncle Si, like, there is still this one clip that I look back on as like the funniest clip in the world. And I will say it often. I'll tell you how I use it in my daily life. It was when Uncle Si and Jace were on a turkey hunt. And Jace was like, you take the one on the left, I'll take the one on the right. And Uncle Si said, they're both facing the same direction. He says, your left or my left? And Jace looks at the camera directly, like, do you see what I'm dealing with here? And so every now and then I'll just be like, your right or my right, or your left or my left, just to get a laugh out of Mark, because we both know exactly what we're talking
What you're
about.
talking.
Yeah, so it's funny. But anyway, Tanner and Callie, they are precious on Love on the Spectrum as well. But then my favorites
Is it
are
Abby and
David and
Jake?
Abby.
Yes, I
Yeah.
love David and Abby. I have
Yeah.
loved them since the first episode when I think it's their first date, and he's giving her the gummy bears. He's like, it is very polite to share. And she said, I don't feel like sharing. That little interchange is my favorite. And all the time I use that with Wesley. I'm like, I don't feel like sharing.
I don't feel like sharing. We need
No.
our own.
Yeah.
Or that is, yeah, they're so great. And
Yes.
I did a TikTok about then and now, like, because when they were on the African Savannah last season, and I was watching it, I was gonna say in real time. It's
Yeah.
not live. Just so everyone knows, it's not a live show. It is edited. But it felt, like I was in the moment with them, and they were sitting there, and there was the last night. It's a famous clip, and he starts singing The Lion King.
Yes.
Well, in my non-neurodivergent mind, I'm going, "No, David, no." I
David,
was
no.
like, don't ruin this moment. This is a beautiful, quiet moment. And then Abby starts singing with them. And I
Yeah.
mean, the tears start flowing. And I was like, oh, my word, they literally are perfect for one
Yes.
another.
Yes. I love the part where or this I think this is the new season. I've only seen it on TikTok. I've not watched it fully yet, but where she like they're sitting out there and then she gets out and does this big song for him. My goodness. That is so sweet. And there's parts of it where
I
I'm
was
like,
bawling.
it's okay, Abby. Now, it's okay to stop now. And she just keeps going, and he just loves it. And like, it's the part of that song where she says, "He brings me gummy bears. He doesn't bring me flowers. He brings me gummy bears because he knows I like them better." And he goes and like grabs his like heart.
He does that several times throughout. Like when she's like, he's my milk to my Chardonnay
Chardonnay.
because, yeah, I mean, it is. And seriously, I saw, and I think it's real because it was on her mom's. Like, I follow them, like their
Yeah, yeah.
official TikTok. And her mom said, okay, you all asked for it, and they're going to do like a video
Really?
to that song. Because, I mean,
Oh,
she made it completely, totally
yeah.
her.
Yeah. That would be so sweet. And I'm sure a hit too, you know? Because everybody loves them. I love watching their TikToks. I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
There was one girl from season 1, and I cannot remember her name. I wanna say it's Caitlin, but
Uh-huh.
she had, like, straw blonde hair. She ended up not finding anybody, and she
That
talks
always
about
makes me.
yeah, but she talks about struggling with, like, autism and ADHD, and
Yes.
I follow her, and she talks about, like, traveling, and she's doing, like, all kinds of big grand trips, so I think it's, like, worked out really well for her, but I really like following her stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, they also have the new girl, Madison, that found Tyler, and they're very sweet as well.
Yes.
Although
Yes.
they have a lot of PDA
Maybe
that
that's where the
literally.
nudity
What? Sorry, what?
maybe that's where the nudity came from. Was one of those.
I might have turned my head because it gets a little much. But, the producers or the cameraman, somebody asked her parents, because I mean, they are laying it all out there right in front of her parents. And, they're like, "Well, how do you feel about that?" And her parents, though, were like, "You know what? We never thought Madison would feel this way about anyone. So we're actually very excited to see it." But I was like, I wouldn't be able to handle it. I'd be
Yeah.
like, you wouldn't want them to go to a room by themselves, but yet you'd be like, "Can you not do that in front of me?
Yeah.
We need to go to the gynecologist immediately." Immediately.
It's like a part of it that you don't like, I don't know how to like, if I had a child, who was on the spectrum, I don't know how I would handle that. It's like Abby, she drinks Chardonnay and she drinks on her own,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I don't know how you you wanna I don't know, because you want them to be safe. Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you remember Danny from last season? She was huge and she has glasses, dark hair, and she ended up finding a Don was his name.
Was
He's
she the
real dark
animator?
headed. Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So again, spoiler alert, but she's still with the Don.
Okay.
And then they end up breaking up because he did not believe in premarital sex. And like his religion, he was just like, I thought
Yeah,
I could. I said I was willing to see how I felt about it. And then,
yeah.
like a year later, she starts really, it seemed like she was really pressuring him.
Like, she was ready and he wasn't. Yeah.
And she broke it off with him because she really thinks that she's like, how can I have intimacy without sex? And
Yeah.
I feel differently about that, right? I
Right.
think that the best way is, to have intimacy in other ways. But I mean, they knew from the get go that's how each other felt. He
Yeah.
was willing to try it, although not actually
Yeah.
going all the way. But it actually, I felt really, actually was a little mad at Danny, to be honest, because I felt like he really was being pressured. But
Yeah.
yet I felt really, he has a really good dad that supports him for sure and was like, I'm proud of you, for
Yeah.
sticking up for what you believe. I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm sure we go ahead.
I mean, they on this show are just like other people. They just, have like this, they're on the spectrum, and so that they have to navigate it differently, but they've got different beliefs and they've got different, whatever. It's not going to be like cookie cutter the same, just like it is for people who aren't neurodivergent or neurotypical people,
Neurotypical.
And
Thank you
it's,
so much. I was trying to remember that phrase all morning.
yeah.
And I was like, okay. I was like, if these were little people, we would be called average size. I was like, what is the neuro what? Thank you. Neurotypical. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, and me and Wesley, when we watched the first season, we were like, honestly, they are the people on the show are more like, I know what I want, you're not it, goodbye. And I was like, I was like that, It would have saved a lot of time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we're afraid about hurting people's feelings
Yeah.
and all that. And I'm not saying that they're not, but they
Right.
are very much exactly what you just said. I know what I
Yes.
want. This isn't working for me. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure Connor, had at least yeah, he had a date with a blonde girl that he was not into
Yeah.
because she was blonde.
Yeah.
And, his family was like, "Can't you give her a chance?" He's like, "Sure." But, I mean, he really wanted a brunette, and that's
Yeah.
what he ended up getting.
Well,
So
I mean, and I think that's something that like into like just across the board in today's like dating world, you're
mhm.
not like allowed to have preferences, and
That
you
is so
should be.
true.
You
That's
should
very
be.
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
If
I
you
feel
love
that. Sorry, you go ahead.
No, I was just like, if you love redheads and you wanna be with the redhead, and you are always gonna be thinking, "Man, I wish I was with the redhead,"
Be with a redhead.
be with a redhead.
Yes. I don't want to be blonde and you love redheads, and then I just feel like you don't love me because like that's just not, I don't want that. Yeah. Yeah.
Listen, I have somebody who a friend of mine, kind of a friend, that admitted one time, like, they have 6 kids together
Wow.
and started having marital issues, and he said in a counseling session one time, "You're not my type." And I
Oh
was
my
like,
gosh.
there are certain things that I really think you should lie about."
I
Like,
mean,
just lie.
you're just not my type.
After 6 kids, I better be your type.
You couldn't have, you couldn't have decided that 20 years ago. That's insane. That's
I don't think you can come back from that.
no. How do you? How do you? You're
Not
not my
gonna
type.
wear a wig just to make you happy.
No, you should be happy with me. I thought you loved
Okay,
me, and that's why you
so
decided me.
so does that not tie into what you wanna talk about?
My goodness. Okay, Justin Bieber is having a crash out, just entirely crashing out. And if you have been anywhere on social media in the past 2 weeks, you've seen it.
He looks so bad.
Yeah, and
Oh.
a lot of people are like saying that it's like because of the Selena Gomez engagement. Now that she's
I don't
engaged
think
to Benny.
so. Do you think
It's
so?
Well, him and Benny Blanco were really good friends before him and Selena started dating. I think there is a lot going on in
Mhm.
the Hailey Bieber, Justin Bieber world because I
Yeah.
think Hailey Bieber had that lawsuit. Have you seen the TikTok part series about Hailey?
I saw, like, part 4, and then
Yeah,
I was
it's a
done.
lot. It's a lot.
I would I just want you to give me just the rundown. I don't have time for a 7-part TikTok, you
And
know?
each part's like 5 minutes. Like it's long.
True.
But every part goes through with all of these receipts, all of these like, she did this, she was here, this happened, she copied Selena here. These are the dates, the timestamps, when she posted. It's insane that someone has gathered all this information, but it's all true. Like you can go like verify it.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Do you really think that Hailey Bieber is in charge of her own publicity?
I have seen videos of her like calling the paparazzi on herself and that kind of thing, and then not getting the attention that she wants from it. I think Hailey Bieber has a marketing team, like a PR team, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think she also has say so in it. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree. But I mean, they all need to be fired.
They're not doing a good job. They're
No,
not.
I mean, maybe they keep getting fired because if they say, no, we're going to do this. Now,
Yeah.
when you sent me something the other day, and I know
Yeah.
we've not got into the rundown, but I really did get thinking about surely to goodness, this girl is not this wackadoodle. Like, I could
Ooh.
see her imitating Selena, right?
Yes.
But
Yes.
now that she's also imitating Sabrina, right? Is
Yep.
that who
Yeah.
I'm like, "Okay, this makes me think there's something else going on." So, it's either she really is like do you think she has, like, a mental disorder about, like, mimicking?
I think two things. I think
Mhm.
yes, but I also think Justin never loved her and she is just doing anything to get his love and attention.
Wow.
Have you
See,
have you
because
there's like receipts of when she was younger, like her and her family, like her family taking her everywhere to see Justin, like stalker type behavior. But they dated for 2 months before they got married, and it was 2 months right after Justin broke up with Selena. I personally think he got married to Hailey for lots of reasons, none of them love, but
Uh-huh.
one of them being, a "Take that, Selena, I can do whatever I want, I'm gonna do this," as, like, a jab at her, at Selena.
Why have they stayed married then? That's what I
I
don't
think
get.
well, there's lots of connections on her family side, and I think that has to do a lot with it,
Okay.
because her and Kendall are good friends, and his manager is Chris's, you know, boyfriend. So there's a lot there. There's a lot there.
Yeah.
So,
But then I also, what I ended up texting you, direct messaging, whatever it was, and nobody come at me. I just, because I really feel bad for Justin Bieber. Like, I
yes,
really do. I think he's been through major trauma.
huge
I think,
abuse.
oh, 100%.
Yes.
Even if you take away all the P. Diddy stuff, he's gone through like terrible,
Yes.
terrible things. But I ask you, could this possibly be a dominant submissive situation of
What do you
where
mean?
Justin sees, Selena, Justin sees Sabrina, and then says, okay, Haley, do this. Like in the listen, y'all, I'm
Mm,
gonna confess something. I went through a stage of where I read some really awful books that would be considered porn. I'm just being honest. And in those books, I learned some things about dominant and submissive relationships. And now that I'm embarrassed Emily out of her mind. But I mean, I was like, so there are people in the world, I don't
yeah.
understand it, that get turned on, agree to the relationship that they're the submissive one. And so
Yeah.
there is a small part of me, because I don't know nearly as much as you do about Haley, that I'm like, there's no reason that any woman would ever do this to themselves. So I was like, maybe they're in this crazy kind of dominant, that Justin Bieber is this dominant, because he has seen some things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so now he wants to be in power, right?
I
And
don't think
Haley
so.
agrees. Okay, so you just totally think
No.
she is just nuts.
Yes, I really
Wow.
do. I really do. I'm not saying that he's not nuts and he's not at
Right.
fault
Yeah, both
because,
things can be true.
the videos, like, and then there was also, like, speculation that, like, oh, they got married for his green card
Yeah.
because at the time that they got married, like, he was, being gonna be kicked out of the country, that kind of.
Do we really
So,
think Justin Bieber is going to get kicked out of the country? I
I
mean,
mean, I don't think so now, but at the time they were, like, talking about it. It was something that was, being discussed, I think, but
yeah.
I don't know. I think the way Hailey acts and the way that Justin Bieber acts, if anything, Hailey is the dominant one in the relationship.
Really?
Absolutely. I think it is more if I had to, like, be crazy and, like, guess the dynamic, I would say, like, her family has kind of, like, bought Justin Bieber for her. That's the yeah, the rundown that is kind of portrayed, I think. So many things just adding up to, like, how they got together, why they were together. I don't know if he, like, got paid to be with her. I'm not saying, like, that kind of I don't know. I don't know. There's definitely more than whatever is, like, being told, and there's just so much evidence of him not loving her. It's sad. It's so sad because, like, this is someone that she's married, but at the same time,
Now had a kid with,
I
right? That's
know,
very
yeah.
confusing too.
I mean, yeah. Like, not to be crazy, but, like, allegedly, it could not be his kid. It could not.
Don't say that. That makes me really sad.
It could be, like, she could have faked a pregnancy. That's something that happened. I'm not saying she did. I'm not saying she did, but she could have.
There is a baby though, right?
They don't show him on social media.
They don't show Justin Bieber singing to him?
Maybe, but I've not seen that.
Oh.
Maybe I'm not saying that the baby's not real. I'm not saying she didn't have a real baby with him. But, it doesn't mean that they love each other, unfortunately.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do realize that.
Yeah.
Girlfriend can do a lot of things to have that happen. But
Yeah. 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 It is a crazy rundown. Okay, so going back to his whole crash out that he's going through right now. Yeah. He posted throwing shade at Selena about her engagement, and it was like that picture of, you know what I'm talking about, the Lord of the Rings little Gollum
Yes.
creature. He's like, oh,
Yeah.
the ring, and it's like girls as soon as they get engaged. He posted that to his story. Benny Blanco then posted like a picture of I think it was Donkey from Shrek, like pouting, and he's like, he didn't say, none of them said anything with it. They just posted that to their story. And then Benny Blanco, what's happened now is Benny Blanco and Selena have released this album together. Have you heard any of it? It is very telling about Selena's relationship with Justin, all this stuff. And she talks about like it was a very toxic relationship. He was very narcissistic. He was very, all this like immature, yes, but also like he's got his own set of issues. And, at the time he was involved with Diddy, so I'm sure there was a lot going on, and I'm not saying that it's his fault by any means, but I'm also not saying it's not his fault to treat Selena that way?
No, I totally agree with you. I do not think that being abused gives you any excuse to abuse other people, no matter
Exactly.
if it quote is just words or whatever.
Right, right. Yeah. So there's a ton of stuff in that album. Like she's talking about, so I wish I had it pulled up. It's the song where she's like, how does it feel to be forgotten? And it's talking about Hailey and how, yeah, yeah. And Hailey has, like, I've talked about this before, copied her cooking show, copied her outfits, copied her Pilates place. Like, Selena would go to this place for like years and years and years. Hailey would find out, then she started going there, and Selena's like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm done. Whatever. Like,
Uh-huh.
it's so layered. But then there's also these videos of Hailey, like, have you seen the video that's circulating right now of Justin and Hailey are at this arcade and they're playing basketball together? And she's like, look, baby, I beat you. And he like screams, yells at her, like, I wasn't even trying. I wasn't even trying. It doesn't count. Like, angry yell.
See,
It's
why isn't her dad, Stephen Baldwin,
right.
going to get his daughter from this relationship? Like,
Because
I don't understand.
she wants to be in the relationship. I mean, we're talking about millionaires and billionaires. We don't understand what's going. You know what I mean? Like, I just
Yeah, but that's the people that we think can escape easily because, normally it's money that like is why someone doesn't leave.
exactly.
So why like her and Kylie Jenner, no, not Kylie, Kendall Jenner are really
Kendall.
good friends?
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Like
her and
just from
Kylie
high
too, but her
school or what?
no, I think they model together. Because Hailey, that's
Uh,
well, okay, here's another thing, and this is why I personally think she stays with Justin. Her
uh-huh,
fame, Hailey's fame, is from Justin. She was not known as and she's still not well known because
uh-uh,
when the paparazzi like come after her, they're like, Gigi, thinking that she's Gigi Hadid. And she's like, I'm not Gigi. And she's like trying to get in the car, and they're like, Bella? Bella Hadid? Like, they have no idea who she is unless she's with Justin. Like, that's her popularity. But Justin won't like kiss her in public, won't hold hands with her, like will shut the door on her, like as she's getting out of the car. Well, have you seen him skateboarding away from the paparazzi as she's like trying to run after him and falls?
Oh
Yeah.
my word, Emily. See, that's why I almost have to think it's a dom submissive thing, else it's just too sad.
Don't think it is. I think she's trying to cling on to her celebrity, which is Justin, but Justin doesn't give her anything. It's insane. Okay, going back to her and Kendall. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Her and Kendall and Kylie are friends. This was like in the very beginning when people started to notice that she was like being a mean girl, kind of bullying Selena and copying what Selena was doing. This video she posted, and it was to the sound, I'm not saying she deserved it, but God's timing is always right. Yeah. And it was right
Don't bring
after, so
don't bring God into it.
maybe they need to.
Yeah, I know, right?
But it was right after or right during the time Selena was talking about dealing with lupus and her kidneys, like that. Like, I can't remember what she only has one kidney. And I can't remember if she donated it to her sister or if she needed to have it removed or something. I think she donated it to a family member, one of her kidneys. There's also a video of Hailey going, well, at least I have both my kidneys. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's just whoever is Haley's therapist needs to be fired. Whoever is her marketing team needs
Needs
to
to be
be
fired.
fired.
This I just saw today as I was getting ready to film today. Do you know what I saw? It was this tweet of this girl, and she's an influencer. I forget who she is, but she was like, all these companies, all these other celebrities' PR teams are paying influencers to make these videos about Hailey. And all of the comments were like, it sounds like Hailey paid you to say this, because there are so many influencers, so many people who are going through and like adding up the stuff. It sounds like she got like I think there's much like the Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively stuff where PR teams are being paid to do whatever and push out whatever. I am
But
sure Haley is.
they're not flattering to her.
No. Well, she's saying that like other celebrities are paying them to like spread rumors about her.
Bless her. Wow. I
Yeah.
don't even know what to say about
Yeah. So, and
that.
we've talked about like Justin Bieber's Yummy video where like
Yes.
yes, all that imagery. And he always does stuff like that, very intentional.
Mhm.
One of the things that's come up recently the past week was Justin Bieber posted a picture of Hailey to the song Irreplaceable, which is the Beyonce song. So it's like at first glance, you're like, oh yeah, she's irreplaceable. That's so sweet. The song is about a breakup. Like, don't think that you're irreplaceable. I can do whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's left it up amid all this backlash. And we've talked before on different pods about, oh, well, Hailey will get on Justin's account and comment under her stuff.
Yeah.
He's left that up on his account with that song. So he knows what that is about and he knows the messaging.
Okay,
And
so
sorry.
no, go ahead. No, go
He
ahead.
released a song about his ex Selena, and I forget the name of it, but it's an animation video because he won't ever be seen with Hailey in an actual video, but it's an animation video of them two together holding hands with walking with a stroller, and I forget the lyrics exactly, but it's basically talking about how big of a mistake I made being with you. I want to be with her instead, and talking about his ex. Yeah. Yeah.
This just makes me all sad. Like, all of it
Yes.
makes me so sad. So, like, what do you think he obviously is going through something physically as
Yeah.
well?
Yeah.
So, is there like, do you know before he was in recovery, like what his drug of choice was, or was it just alcohol, or what have you heard?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's a mix of whatever Hollywood parties are, like cocaine and alcohol, and
this looks
I think it's
so bad.
hard drugs. I don't think it's like anything that could be considered natural or anything that's like legal in other states. I think it's
Can
hard
I ask you
stuff.
something crazy?
Yeah.
Is meth just in Kentucky and Tennessee? Because I mean, he really looks like he might be on meth.
I
But
think
I
I think
think
meth
meth
is
is too
everywhere.
well, I was gonna say I think meth is too cheap, right? Like, that's, like, cheap?
Meth is too cheap for
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, ketamine, I don't know. I don't know. And there's probably drugs we have no idea.
Yeah. Thank
I don't
God.
know, but people are saying, like, the way that he's been on Instagram Live.
Yeah. And it's really him? Like, it's
Yes.
verified that it's him?
Yeah. They're saying that it's what's the word? I can't well, some other singer, songwriter, actor did this same kind of thing, like, would have lives where they're just, like, out of it, but, like, really into the music or whatever, and then they
So where is his people?
who?
You know what I mean? His people that take care of him. Corey Gamble, get out of Chris Jenner's bed and get over there and do something.
Get out of Kris Jenner's bed!
Get over there to Justin's house. He needs you, man. He
Well,
needs
I'm
you.
well, Corey needs his asset at the very least, you know what I mean?
Didn't know what you were gonna say. It's like, I agree.
Like, yeah! Like, if he doesn't care as Justin as a person, he's gonna miss the money Justin makes him.
Like, didn't know he was still his manager. Like, I thought someone else
He
is
may
his
not be.
manager now.
I may
Yeah.
have misspoke. I thought he was still signed with Scooter Braun.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It makes me sad, so I just don't want to know.
But they're saying that, like, they're really worried about him because of these lives. It's the same pattern that this other guy followed right before
Aaron
gosh, what is it?
Carter? Is it
No,
Aaron Carter?
maybe,
No.
maybe, maybe. I thought it was Rob something.
Could be.
I
I
like
don't
I want to say
know.
Rob Bates, but I don't have no idea who that is.
I
That
don't know
actually
who
might be a
that is
member at
either.
the gym I work. Oops. I think I just
See
signed him
that
up the
kind
other
of
day.
stuff all the time. No telling what y'all just saw. Um, oh my word, that's hilarious. And if you know what Justin Bieber is on, please leave a note in the comments.
Yeah, please tell us because we don't want him. It's all those like celebrity deaths that are like mysterious. Like, oh, they had pneumonia.
Yeah. And all of
Yeah.
this is alleged and for entertainment purposes only. We really don't know. We just like to talk about it.
Alleged, alleged, alleged.
Absolutely. But
Yeah.
Corey, you
Well,
really need
thank
to
you.
get out of Chris's bed.
Get out of her bed. Thank you for watching this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed our yapping together and join us next week to find out about Morgan Wallen. Don't forget
Absolutely.
to like and subscribe, leave comments, leave questions, any topic you want us to cover, and we'll talk about it. See you next week.